Hey guys, what's up? Chris here for BeerGeekNation.com. I was gonna hold off on this video until Monday, but I thought, hey, I better do it now because the craft beer world is exploding with two big stories. One of them happened just today, and today is Thursday. It's like 11:30 at night. So let's talk about it. The first earlier this week, Wicked Weeds out of Asheville, North Carolina was bought by Anheuser-Busch InBev. Surprise, surprise. Well, not really. I mean, all things considered, AB InBev's been pretty quiet lately, kind of buying craft brewers. So there's kind of been a big buffer between some of the big ones bought and this one. And this one, I think, stung a lot of people because Wicked Weeds is one of those breweries that I think the craft beer community really feels like they kind of nurtured, took them in, kind of made them who they are. They brew a lot of, quote, beer geek friendly beers. They brew some crazy good IPAs. They have an incredible barrel program. They brew a lot of funky beers, a lot of sours, a lot of great imperial stouts, a lot of kind of off the wall stuff that was really fantastic. They opened a Funkatorium where all they do are funky beers. They opened a giant production brewery as well, I guess about a year and a half, 2 years ago. And look, how do I feel about this? I'm kind of neutral on it. Again, if you don't like it, don't spend your money on it. But if somebody offers you a check, I don't know their life circumstances. I don't know how much money they were in debt. They have a big new brewery, so maybe they just saw this they made an offer they couldn't refuse, and they just took it and they ran with it. So what are my thoughts on this, or what are the outcomes of this, I guess I should say? People are not taking it well at all. So a couple days have gone by. A lot of stuff has gone down because Wicked Weeds was bought by InBev. They lost their vote at the North Carolina Craft Brewers Guild, which is huge. They were going to have a brewing, like an invitational beer fest at their Funkatorium. There's breweries pulling out left and right of that thing because of the acquisition. Their lead brewer, some of the good news, the lead brewer of their sour program, their funky beers, is now going to Dogfish Head. So he's getting out of there. So they lost a brewer for that, which says to me they knew about this for a while if he already has that job lined up. So that was the big thing. I got a feeling that's got to kind of, and Jester King, the one big thing, and I give Jester King 100% credit for this, they came out with a statement pretty much the day that it happened. The Wicked Weeds was bought by InBev, and they said, we will no longer be serving Wicked Weeds beers. This is not a good thing. We felt like they were kind of brothers in arms, and they kind of feel a little bit betrayed. And one of the big things that they point out, and it's 100% correct, is that every beer that Wicked Weed Beers now sells, some of that money is going to go to shutting down craft beer. And that is just the bottom line of InBev, Anheuser-Busch buying any of these breweries. Really, pretty much any big kind of macro brewery buying a craft brewery, that is their end goal. They are getting a foothold in the craft market. They're going to sell their craft beer. They're going to take the profits that they make, and then they're going to turn that around, give it to distributors, give it to third parties to fill up that shelf space, to get rid of some of the other craft beer so that only their beer is in there, whether it be, their macro stuff or their craft stuff. So now that every beer, and again, Jester King, they were spot on when said this, every beer that Wicked Weeds beer now sells, some of that money is going to shut down craft beer. Bottom line, whether it's buying distributors, buying wholesalers, buying ingredients wholesalers, buying hop varieties, what have you, that is now where some of that money from a Wicked Weeds beer is now going. Bottom line. So it kind of sucks. It really kind of sucks. The other side of it is, well, they're going to have bigger distribution. You're going to get their beers more readily available. They'll probably take some of their house beers out and farm them out to, where is that, Red Hook or wherever that is up. I think it's in Oregon or Washington State, that Pyramid Brewing up there, wherever the hell that is. And then they'll let them focus on some of their barrel-aged stuff, some of the more esoteric stuff, and the recipes will be fine, the beers will be fine, and it'll be another Goose Island situation where, look, everything's hunky-dory, InBev stayed out of our recipes, look, come on back, drink our beers. But the bottom line, the end of the day, some of the money that you're paying for those beers is kind of going back against you, whether you want to see that or not. So it does kind of suck. Wicked Weeds is taking some hits on the chin right now. I can't say that they're probably laughing all the way to the bank. They're probably not too upset about it. And it kind of sucks because I really did like Wicked Weeds. Again, I really have nothing against it. I know as part owner of a brewery, I guess if somebody came up and offered us millions of dollars to buy our brewery, it probably wouldn't be that hard of a decision, to be completely honest. But it kind of sucks. Some people are saying, well, now they have all this money, they can just go start their own, different project, different brewery. That's probably not entirely true. There's probably a no-compete clause in there. I'm sure they've crossed their T's and dotted their I's, and it's probably a fairly extensive one, probably 10 to 15 years, I would imagine. So that's my thoughts on Wicked Weeds. It sucks, but if you don't like it, don't give them your money. That's probably the best thing you can do. I'm a bit neutral on it. It's hard to say that I wouldn't do the same thing being as part of an owner of a brewery. I can't know where they're coming from. I don't know their financial situation. Who knows? It's hard to say, but in the end, the big picture, it does kind of suck for craft beer in general. So the second thing that happened, and actually happened today on Thursday, is that Heineken bought the additional 50% of Lagunitas that they didn't own. A couple years ago, maybe a year or two ago, Heineken actually bought into Lagunitas for 50%. What this did is it allowed Heineken to distribute their beers throughout Europe, and I believe some of South America as well. They basically took a cut of all that beers. It allowed global distribution of Heineken. It allowed an influx of cash for them to open. They have a new California brewery. They have their new Chicago brewery as well. So the time has come, and today was that day that Heineken bought the additional 50%. So now they are Lagunitas is 100% owned by Heineken. And again, Heineken released a statement. They are going to be completely hands-off. So it's nice that they actually said that, because I don't think you've ever heard InBev say that. They're going to be completely hands-off. Basically, all they're going to do is handle the global distribution of Lagunitas beers, as well as, I would assume, probably some production over in Europe as well. They'll probably contract some Lagunitas beers, but I don't know that 100%. That would just make more sense logistically. So that's what Heineken's going to do. They're going to distribute Lagunitas globally. Lagunitas, one of my favorite breweries. Again, how do I feel about this? This is a little bit different from InBev, I guess, because now they're kind of doing what in Europe, what InBev is doing to the US. So it's hard to say. And this one kind of sucks because, again, I really like Lagunitas and I will continue to support Lagunitas. Let's just put that out there. But knowing that a little bit of my money is going to Heineken, and going to Heineken's kind of shelf space acquisition kind of sucks. Really kind of sucks. But that's my feelings on it. Nothing more has really come out of that it's just Lagunitas is now 100% owned by Heineken. Tony made a statement basically saying what he already said. He's like, it was time. He kind of wanted out, and this just allows more people to get Lagunitas. Bottom line. And I can't argue with him there, and I'm sure he got a hell of a payday from them. So with that said, what do you guys think in the comments section below? Does this suck? Is it good for craft beer? Is it bad for craft beer? Do you see more acquisitions coming in the near future? Are we gonna have another kind of window to kind of let the dust settle a little bit? Let me know in the comments section below. Remember, folks, life's too short. Drink amazing beers. Cheers, guys.